three more to discuss here. Arizona 28, Dallas Cowboys 16. The biggest upset of the weekend. The Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon's Cardinals get their first win. Cowboys, first loss. They fall to 2-1 here. This was, a 12.5-point spread here. And Arizona just took it to them from start to finish. And look, Arizona's played really well in the first half of games in particular. They played well against Washington in week 1. In week 2, they were dominating the Giants in the first half before they blew a big second half lead. And in this one, they get up early, and you're still kind of wondering, well, Dallas is a better team. A better team overall. They've got some offensive firepower. They've got Dak Prescott. They've got their incredible defense. And it didn't matter, man. Arizona just, it was 21-10 at the half. And it was, they win 28-16. Every time Dallas started to come back, Dallas got within a score at the end of in the third quarter, got within 5 in the fourth quarter, but Arizona kept coming back. Huge touchdown, Josh Dobbs to Marquise Brown for a 2-yard score to go up 28-16, and that was it. Arizona with the win.
I mean, the biggest thing is Dallas's defense did not completely shut down this Arizona offense. Dallas's defense has been murdering people the first couple of weeks. And, okay, you can look at the competition they face, but they've looked really good. They look like one of the best defenses in the NFL. And Josh Dobbs and the Cardinals offense took it to them. They bullied them up front a lot. They're doing some creative things as well. I mean, zoom. Rondale Moore out of the backfield.
That was nice.
Legitimate running back carry straight up. Touchdown. That was really nice.
You go zoom. You went zoom.
Yeah, zoom. Right
Can we get that? That's the sound effect. Yes. Okay. So when we get the soundboard that we've been talking about, every time
I've got to have zoom on there.
Yeah. Every time Arizona creates a big play, especially if it's Rondale Moore, you get the
right. Zoom. So that worked. And look, that Jonathan Gannon, whatever we thought about him, corny, like zoom comedy. Those teams playing well.
I know you're.
Now look, this goes against the plan.
I know you're midpoint. I know you're midpoint here.
What?
But
I don't have a midpoint. This goes against the plan of you're supposed to lose.
Yeah. Well,
you're playing hard is good when you lose, because then you can still get your number 1 overall draft pick. You're not supposed to beat Dallas.
Yeah. This was a bad day for Arizona Cardinals draft capital.
Right.
Because the Texans won as well. But are you telling me the social media comedians who are all making fun of Jonathan Gannon because he said some goofy things, some awkward, cringy things, that maybe, just maybe for the first time in history, we overreacted to some social media videos?
Oh, no. No, I think we
the same way people overreacted to Nick Sirianni having an awkward first press conference, like, oh boy, Nick Sirianni, not cut out for the job. He's going to the Super Bowl in 2 years. Are you saying is there a chance that we overreacted to Jonathan Gannon?
No.
And the Cardinals are playing hard for 3 straight weeks, and they just beat the Dallas Cowboys, and if you get a little bit more talent in that building, which they will over the next couple of years, maybe Arizona's getting back on track under Jonathan Gannon?
No, I think we appropriately reacted to those videos. Those videos were abominations of human interaction. They should have been ridiculed, and they were concerning. But somehow, in spite of those ridiculous
they had
things,
zero predictive power to the future.
No. It's what we're witnessing right now is the power of leadership from Joshua Dobbs. That's the only rational explanation.
You're saying Joshua Dobbs is overcoming Jonathan Gannon. Pew, pew.
That's exactly
He's overcoming.
Yes, that's what's happening here. You've got, on the one hand, Cornball over here trying to drag everything down into a world of ridiculousness, Nathaniel Hackett style. And then over here, Joshua Dobbs is rescuing everything. That's what's happening.
No, I would like to take this opportunity to trash the Twitter mob who goes and everybody tries to get their joke in. And Austin Gale said, hey, maybe it was true. Maybe Jonathan Gannon got those dogs. He's got them. Right? He admitted it yesterday, kind of. Everybody's got to get their joke in. Maybe you were all wrong. I'm impressed by the way Arizona's playing.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, by the way, again, this is Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs going to end up with an insanely good grade relative to playing the Dallas defense.
He's turned into one of the best backups in the NFL.
I mean, he's turned into a starter right now.
I know he's a starter right now.
No, but
it's tough to trust him
he's
every
playing
week.
Like a starter.
Just like he did last year with Tennessee. He runs the offense pretty well. He adds value with his legs as he did yesterday.
But that's the thing. Like, so he's playing like a capable starter right now. Like the Tennessee Josh Dobbs still didn't really look like a starter. That looked like, okay, yeah, this is better than Malik Willis.
For chunks of time he did, though.
But it's not good. Right? Now it looks good.
Did the Barbarian get home at all?
Did the Barbarian get home?
No, he did not. 0 sacks for the Barbarian in the Barbarian sack watch here.
No sacks for the Barbarian. They did get pressure from, like, this felt like a weird game where you never quite bought the idea that Dallas wasn't going to come back, but then Dallas would have a run, and then Arizona would get one play in a really high leverage spot and ruin it, and they'd have to start all over again. It's like, back we go again, right? And then Arizona would actually score and make the hole even more deep for Dallas to try and crawl out of. But they were still kind of plugging away and getting back into it, and then that interception from Dak in the red zone. It's like, okay, that's game. 3 minutes left or whatever.
There's nothing more discussed than Dak Prescott interceptions, and I know the yelling shows will be all over it. Dak Prescott's not clutch. He threw the pick. I think he got away with one a little bit earlier in the game. I mentioned last week he got away with a potential pick 6. This one, just a bad decision. I mean, I know they're down 2 scores and you got to take some chances, but this was triple coverage in the end zone. The other comment that I thought was interesting, Mike McCarthy's calling plays now, right? And I made the statement last week, I don't know if it's successful or not. I don't know how well Mike McCarthy's calling plays because they had the bad game flow, right? It was the Giants game where it's like, don't screw it up, and they're playing Zach Wilson's Jets, don't screw it up. In this one, you're playing from behind, and Dallas needing 2 scores with the ball with 7-8 minutes left, they keep running it, and Tony Pollard finally had a pretty effective game here. But after the game, Mike McCarthy said, hey, they were playing high, right? They were inviting us to run, basically, so we ran. And it probably left Dallas with a little bit too much time. And then when they actually started to take some shots in the end zone, Dak's feeling like he has to force it. I mean, to me, that's a little something. Is Mike McCarthy going to be – he's getting dictated to by the defense? Is that a concern as the play caller? Instead of saying, no, this has to be Dak getting the ball to CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup and my playmakers, my tight ends. I have to let Dak win this game, not hand it off just because they're inviting it. They're playing too high. So then when they finally throw it, Dak throws it into triple coverage for the interception.
Yeah, and Arizona had also held on a 4th and goal, I think, a little bit before that. Like when Dallas was mounting the comeback, the Cardinals – They bent a lot, but they didn't break. Like they held in a couple of really high leverage key situations to stop this getting away from them. Which
Dallas had several red zone plays.
Yeah,
and I know red zone production is generally it's just like 1-score games. It's just like a lot of stuff that fluctuates from year to year. But I also feel like the good play callers are able to get you some gimmies.
Yeah. Look at Andy Reid. I mean. Yeah. The fact that every single time, seemingly, they attempt those ridiculous shovel passes as a walk-in touchdown, there's something to that, right? It's not the same play every time. Defenses know it's coming, and they're still able to just dial it up at will. Like Andy Reid,
show something,
Mahomes,
add a little tweak to it. Yeah. It opens up free. You need free scores, and Dallas did not have that. I mean, credit Arizona for shutting it down, but Dallas terrible in the red zone, including that late interception by Dak Prescott.
A relative lack of impact from the Dallas defensive superstars. I mean, Micah Parsons had 1 sack, but there was really only like 1 or 2 plays where he reminded you that, hey, Micah, like, remember the game against the Giants where it's like, dude, Micah Parsons, every time he's on the field, he's ruining the game for New York. They can't move with Micah Parsons there. There was like 2 plays where he had that flash. The rest of the time, they kept him reasonably quiet. First game without Trayvon Diggs.
We didn't get to mention
go great
that, right?
On the back end.
So we previewed the game on Thursday. On Friday, Trayvon Diggs injured, out for the season.
Was it on? Didn't he?
I think
it was like
Friday.
On the Thursday. I
was
think,
it Thursday
in practice?
Oh no, it must have been Thursday.
Tore his ACL, but we didn't know when we were previewing it.
Right. So we didn't get to discuss that before, but it's a big loss because having that depth in the secondary, and he was giving up a passer rating of 1.
Yeah.
Into his coverage. What is that better than?
It's better than throwing the ball in the dirt every play.
Yeah, throwing the ball into the dirt.
And the last couple of weeks, Stephon Gilmore's looked not at his best, like maybe on the wane. This wasn't a great game by him, and now he has to be the number 1, not the the number 2 complement.
Yeah.
It's just stressing, that defense a lot now.
It felt like Arizona just played the underdog role really well. Dobbs got rid of the ball pretty quickly to help negate the rush. You have the Rondale Moore play where it's like, hey, we're going to outflank the defense because of alignment, and Rondale Moore is going to, take it to the house.
And they, their deployment of Rondale Moore is getting quite interesting. Like, they're using him creatively, not just that backfield carry sort of straight up the middle, but they've used him in they've given him handoffs and carries in weird motion, pre-snap motion, got him faking orbits or jet sweeps or whatever, and then giving him the ball on the way back. Like, they're with blockers out in front, they're doing some cool stuff with Rondale Moore.
All right, well, the Cardinals are becoming much more watchable than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say.
I mean, they're playing well. Like, whether or not they win these games, they're good games. Like, they're good to watch.